What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Storm in a Teacup podcast, episode 3. I'm Sam, joined by my co-host Charlie.
I am Charlie.
And we're going to start, as we always do, as of last episode, and talk about what we did last week. So because I've introduced it, I'll probably say that Charlie should go first, just so you can hear him a bit more.
See, this is weird because like last week you said because you went first on what you did last week on episode 1, I'll go first, and I went first.
Oh, I can go if you want.
I mean, you can do. I mean, if they want to hear something remarkable, for the first time in this podcast so far, I know it's only episode 3, I actually have a hot beverage. I managed to keep it warm, and I haven't drank all of it in all the time that we've spent setting up. So
Same actually, because I've literally just made mine.
it's same. It's still not tea. Like
Oh no, I've still got a coffee.
I've still got a cup. I've got it in my little owl mug. My mum.
Looking up the brand.
My mum got this.
Gosh darn it. Sorry about that, Charles.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it. But yeah, go ahead. What have you been up to in the past week?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. It's not been interesting. But yeah, I've just stayed in because obviously that's what everyone else is doing right now. And really, I've just been having a lot of I've been super sick of just staying inside, but obviously it's for a good reason. So I'll keep on doing it. But I think one of these days I need to take up Boris on his offer of being allowed to go out for an hour's exercise per day, just to step outside and actually face that outside world again, because it's feeling like a prison right now.
Have you not been
insane.
going into your garden or anything like that?
No, not really.
Right, I'm not gonna lie. I'd highly recommend it. I mean, I can't. I'll get into why I haven't in my segment of it, but I've been going out for my hour, pretty much every day. If not every day, then every day for 2 days, miss a day every day, 2 days. I'm trying to speak pretty low because on this audio it's looking like I'm peaking quite a bit, and it's not the best. I'm hoping I'm not.
Shall we talk about concerns about the audio now, or just leave that for in a bit?
I mean, I've mentioned it. We can. Oh God, it's so annoying.
Yeah, we may as well.
Yeah. Would you like me to, seeing as it's what I have to deal with?
Yeah, sure. You're the one dealing with it most, so I'll just butt in when I
Yeah.
can.
So last week we had a big problem with the audio, because, like me and Sam said last week, we record this over Skype. So our conversation happens there, and there has been lag in our connection between me and Sam. So on Sam's audio file, I'm lagging. On my audio file, Sam's lagging. And because of this, we've been able to hear each other in the background because Sam's Skype volume has been up on my side and my Skype volume's been up on Sam's side. So we can hear each other during our conversations, but that also means the audio is picking up me in Sam's background and Sam in my background. So the last week, after syncing everything up, I could hear echoes of myself in Sam's audio channel. I could hear Sam in my audio channel, and yeah, I mean, we're trying to combat this now by Sam turning me down, my volume on his side, me turning Sam down, and I'm trying a new audio recording software on my laptop. But like I said, I'm looking at the audio file right now, and it looks like it's peaking. So I'm just going to try and keep my voice down. But at the same time, I don't know if it's peaking to the level that I've set it at, or whether it's peaking just in general. Because if it's peaking to the level I've set it at, it shouldn't be too loud. If it's peaking to 0, then it is going to be loud. But I'm just hoping. It might even just be because the microphone's pretty close to me. So when I move it like that, even though you can see me holding the microphone further away, I can actually speak louder. I mean, I might just do something like that. But yeah, audio problems.
It's just growing pains right now, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're just getting used to this whole thing, but hopefully down the road, especially when we're recording in person, if we do that, then these problems are just not going to exist. So
I mean, hopefully, like it's all dependent on factors that are out of mine and Sam's control right now in terms of the lag. Like me and Sam can't control the lag that's happening. The only thing we can do is try and combat it by turning each other down on our sides of the Skype call. In terms of audio peaking, again, that comes down to the microphone and the audio software and just making sure that I'm recording it properly. This is the first time I've used this software actually recording straight into the software, not using it to edit. So it's something that I'm just gonna have to learn, get used to. As well, microphones, we haven't got, well, Sam's got a decent microphone, I haven't got the best microphone. You know, it's just, it's getting used to it. This is our journey with you and your journey with us. But we promise, if all goes to plan, because me and Sam had a little meeting yesterday regarding audio, and we put measures into place, and hopefully, like, you know, we will get there. But I'll just try and keep it down this podcast.
And well, the ironic thing is that we're only really gonna know if the audio is fine when we listen back to this, so we hear back us talking about wanting the audio to be fine.
Yeah.
So that's quite funny. But the other thing that's been up this week, is that anyone that knows me, like, somewhat closely, knows that a common occurrence for me, which is super annoying, is the fact that sometimes my sleep schedule just throws itself all out of whack, and that's what's going on right now.
I feel you.
So I've literally just, like, not long woken up, and for context, we started filming this at about 7 p.m. So I've been up for like an hour now.
Just a quick thing. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, sorry, I've just looked at something in the audio software and I could hear myself talking as I was talking. It was a bit weird, and I'm hoping it hasn't been picked up on the audio, but it does look like it's peaking to -9, so it shouldn't peak. But to give context as well, Sam, you were stressing me out with that. Waking up so late, because I wanted to start recording at about like 4ish, 4:15, and because that way I could record when the flat was free. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about Hat cleaning anything up or Hat coming in like she normally does. But no. Oh, also, had your phone like died during?
No.
Because I was trying to call you, just normal phone call, and I tried to call you twice, and there was no dial tone. It just said that I could not. The call couldn't be completed, or the call couldn't be connected at this time. And then, like,
both times.
Yeah, both times, and then I tried again, and then it rang out. I got a dial tone, and it actually rang, and that was when you messaged me on Facebook.
See, that's the call that I saw.
Yeah.
But you said you called 3 times, and I only got told you called twice, so I don't know what's up with that.
I'll double check, because I've called you 4 times today. Twice of them they rang, and twice of them it said that it couldn't connect.
Well, yeah, it's a super annoying thing that happens to me a lot of the time. And honestly, I've started thinking about getting like sleeping pills or something just to, you know, try fight it. Because a lot of the time I am trying to sleep and it's just not happening, and I don't want to like self-diagnose with like insomnia or anything, but you know, lying in bed not being able to sleep, that's gonna do something to your sleeping pattern.
I think it doesn't help the change in time, like we've lost an hour. Because that's really messed up my sleeping pattern. Like last night, it must have been something like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just sat in the living room just playing COD, because I couldn't sleep. Like losing that hour has completely whacked up my sleeping pattern, and I hate being like lazy, you know what I mean? I hate waking up late. As much as I'm a night owl. I mean, it's funny I have an owl mug, but as much as I'm a night owl, I like using the whole of my day. I like getting up fairly early and going to sleep not too late, but fairly late, so I can use the whole amount of my day, and I just feel like I'm not being productive with it enough, especially seeing as I know there's not much to do right now, but I have a lot of free time.
So that's probably like the best thing about it is that like literally nothing's going on right now. So if there is a time for me to go through this whole thing, it's right now.
Yeah.
But on the subject of that, I really hate daylight saving so much.
It is.
Like, I just don't understand it. Like I think it was like a farmer thing, like back when it was actually like useful. It would like help with their growth or something. I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they have clocks now. Everyone has a clock in their pocket.
It is a bit. The question is, if you were to have it so that there wasn't daylight savings, what would you rather have? The time we have now, where we've gone an hour forward, or when we go back and we have an hour back, so the days are shorter, longer?
It doesn't really make a difference, does it? I don't know.
Well, the time we're at now, it means that it's lighter the later it gets during the day, because it's British summertime. Yeah, because
I'm liking it being like
exactly
20:07 right now. It's still
it was
somewhat light.
Strange. Like me and Hat, like we'd go out or we'd come back from somewhere like my mum's during like December time, January time. We'd come back at like 4:00 in the afternoon, and it would be like or 5:00, and it would be super dark. And then now it's just like you said, it is 25 minutes past, well, almost 25 minutes past 7, and it's still bright. Like,
on the subject of your mug, by the way, I haven't really shown mine. So I probably should, because my mum got it to me, and it's one of those like trying to be funny cups.
Yeah.
That's focused. So this cup would make sense if it was transparent.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it right now, Charles.
No,
but it's one of those where it's like, when it reaches a certain level. So the top one says "Don't speak to me." Then it's in the middle, and it says "Shush, not yet." And then when it's at the bottom, it's "Now you may speak." But it's not. It's opaque, so you can't see inside of it. So I don't.
See, the problem that I've just.
So I don't even know what level I'm at. The problem other people.
I've just found with my mug, literally just as I drank from it, because I've just finished it. Obviously, you have to tip it up a little bit more. My little owl has little owl ears, and they're just like perfectly fit into my eyes when I'm trying to pour it.
Well, mug review, 7 out of 10, because that opaque thing really annoys me. But it's a good mug and it works as a mug.
I'd give mine a strong 9 out of 10 just because, like, I think it's some sort of like set, because I know we've got a fox one as well. You know, this is what we're gonna have to do, like, because. I'm trying to make sure that I wear something different each time we do the podcast.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
And now I think it's going to be, because I'm using the same glass that I've used in the first 2 podcasts for my water, and I promise people I do clean it. Like it gets cleaned. It's not just sat next to my bed or like this whole time. But now it's going to be a case of every time we record this and I have a hot beverage, I'm going to make sure that it's a different mug.
Well, I've used your llama one.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to bring that on one time, because I really love that one.
Oh yeah, what's that? Tina.
But yeah, enough about all of my stuff. It's your turn to go over the teacup and all that.
The teacup.
So what have you been up to?
Honestly, same. It's been a pretty like boring week. Not boring, but non-eventful. I said that I'd mention why I haven't been going out. So Charlie got fat, basically, and Charlie's been trying to stay active to reduce the fatness. And I've been doing cardio. I've been doing a lot of skipping, just because like it's one of my favourite forms of cardio. Like I love it, just because you can do it anywhere. And I've been doing it. I've been doing it every. I'm still not looking at my camera. I keep looking at the laptop to watch the waveform to make sure that I'm not peaking. But I've been doing it every single day for at least 45 minutes to an hour every day.
That's good.
But I was skipping, not yesterday, not the day before. Monday I was skipping, and I was gonna go for 45 minutes, but I had to cut it short at half an hour because my calf just seized up. There
Jeez.
was just like I just got a shooting pain run up it, and I was like, that really hurts. And I had like 3 minutes before it got to half an hour, so I was like, I'll power through it. I'll take it a bit easier,
Uh-huh.
because like doing boxing and stuff like that, I can do the boxers skip, like the running skip and the paradiddle skip. It's a drumming term, but it's like left, right, left, left. So I can skip fairly well. So I was like, I'll stop at half an hour. I stopped at half an hour. Um, I used some of the Nurofen pain relief gel on my calf, and I was like, I'll see how it is tomorrow. I woke up and it felt fine. It was like a little bit achy. But I went out on the Tuesday, started, got something like 20 minutes in, maybe half an hour. I can't remember how long, but again, just completely seized up. It was so painful.
Damn.
Like, honestly, it was super, super painful.
You might have to get that checked by a GP then or something after all this is like over.
See, like, I've taken a couple days off just to rest. I've had a bath. I've used the pain relief gel, and I've been trying to like just rest up, stretch it out, to relieve the muscle tension, and it's feeling a lot better. The problem is it's when you skip, you're meant to skip on the balls of your feet where your toes are. Your heel's not really meant to hit the ground to reduce impact. So when you're doing that, it's constant high impact to your calf. So it just pulls something straight. So I've been taking a bit of time off that. Other than that, what have I've been watching some stuff, but I'll get onto that in after this. Me and Hat are baking tomorrow. That'll be fun. For all those.
What are you making?
What are we making? We're making truffles.
Uh-huh.
We're making flapjacks,
Oh.
and I think we're making cookies.
You'll have to save me some, man.
See, I'm saying all this about how I want to lose weight, and I'm just making a look.
That's how they get you, man.
Yeah, for everyone that
Just unhealthy food is tasty.
I haven't mentioned it actually on the podcast, but Hat actually trained to be a baker in college, so
Oh yeah, I know this.
her bakery skills are just like, I'm the chef, she's the baker. Like I mean, like literally, I cooked dinner last night. I'm cooking dinner again tonight, and then we're baking over the weekend. Like, but she's just a great cook. Like, she can bake and she can cook. It's
Yeah, no, I've had her cooking. That chicken she made was real nice.
it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I have got very, very lucky. But
See, 'cause that was like a collaboration. Because I came with my recipe, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, have my chicken."
yeah.
So we just slapped them both together.
I mean,
and made a beautiful little thing.
we have spoken, and we're going to do a cookbook.
Wow.
Yeah, man, we just got, because like some of the stuff that I make, it's literally it's nothing special. It's just like I've just been taught to make it by like my nan or my mum or whatever, and it literally just follows a recipe you can follow online. But we've just over time thrown some ingredients out, brought some ingredients in, mix and match some of the stuff. It's like I always season to taste. That's a good way to describe it. Like, everyone always says that my spaghetti bolognese or my lasagna never tastes the same twice, and it's just because I season to taste. I add salt here, pepper here, paprika here. I know paprika in a spaghetti bolognese is a bit mad.
So does that mean that like your cookbook's going to be all cultural and stuff because of like your side of the family? And
Yeah,
stuff?
man. Yeah, I mean, it's just like
Awesome.
Hat like does a banging katsu chicken curry. I do chana masala, which is chickpea and spinach curry. Like, it and I think the thing is, like, my mom's always said it, and like, it's just so easy to go by. Once you get a base of a curry down, you can literally throw whatever you want in it. Like, I could take out the chickpeas and the spinach and just have a just chicken curry, or I could put lamb in it, or whatever. But as well for Hat's birthday, I brought her a load of well, I say a load, 3 of these cookbooks that she really wanted because they're part of a set.
Mm-hmm.
So she's ordered some post-it notes, and we're gonna go through and just be like, okay, we have to make this. We can make this, or we'll leave this. Just to put all the recipes.
Yeah, yeah.
What else?
It is. Oh, never mind.
No, okay, what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask if that was everything you've done this week.
No, something that has like literally just happened in the last hour.
Oh wow.
Again, I sound like a broken record. Applying for jobs, it's fun. Do it, yeah. Get rejected, like me. But
And me.
I've just applied for a fair few jobs recently, and one of them I applied on Indeed, and it is in. I'm gonna quickly check this. It's near Southend.
I'll start with geography, so I have no idea what that is. Obviously, it's in England.
It's near Essex.
Which is near London. Damn.
Yeah. Where is it? I'm literally
That's quite the trek then.
Yeah.
If you get that.
Wickford. It's in Wickford. So
do you think you're gonna move if you get that, or you
I'd
just
have to.
make the journey?
I'd have to, because it's like it's a 3-hour car journey to get there. And it's a full-time position, so it's like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the reason I brought it up is because I applied for it, and it said that a requirement was to live there, or to be in that postal code. So I've just had a message via LinkedIn through the person that's running the recruitment, and it just said, like, hi Charlie, what it says about commute. I just forgot the word commute. Does the commute work for you for this position? And it just linked the job. So I just messaged him back. Me and Hat were looking at some like houses and flats there, and I've just said, like, we're willing to relocate to make the commute easier. But
wait, so they found you, or
I
applied on Indeed and then they contacted you?
I applied on Indeed and they contacted me.
Oh, okay, well, obviously they're interested in you. They're contacting you, which is good.
It's one of them. I spoke to Hat about it. My biggest pet peeve for applying for jobs is LinkedIn and Indeed tell you when someone has viewed your job application.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
I might be looking hard enough.
I don't know if it tells you for every single job, but for a lot of jobs. Speak of the devil, here's Hat. Making her usual entrance. Just been speaking about you. Speaking about your baking and you. What else are we baking? Cookies, flapjacks, truffles. Concrete cake. That's it.
Oh.
Make some shortbread. Maybe.
You need to stop talking about food, man. I'm hungry.
You're making Sam hungry. He said he wants some. I told him about making a cookbook.
I want all, not just some.
We're making a cookbook. Me and you. We're making a cookbook. Just coming here making all this noise.
But yeah, no, this
week.
I'm
joking.
This week all around has just been super like dead. Not even just for us, but for like, news in general. There's literally no news as well.
It has been dead. Like the highlights of my day have been Hat coming home to tell me what she's been doing at work, because
You're having like second-hand socialising.
What was that, sorry? Yeah, so obviously Hat works on community care, and sometimes she'll come home and say, like, oh yeah, I had a great day, like I met someone new, or some of like the regular people she goes to see, she's like, oh yeah, they were lovely today. And the other day she got slapped, punched and whipped by an old lady.
Why?
Why did you get slapped, whipped and punched by an old lady? Feel free to speak up, because I'll subtitle it like I usually do.
I asked if she wanted to go to the toilet.
She asked if she wanted to go to the toilet.
And I guess she found that a rude question.
She did find that a rude question, apparently. And she got dementia. Yeah, so a lot of the people Hat works with have like dementia, so that causes them to lash out sometimes. What's that?
Yeah, no, that would make sense.
What's that thing called? Like certain hours in the day. Sundown. Sundowning. So that's something Kat taught me. It's like specific hours of the day, their like dementia like flares up, and their attitude towards things like flares up. So that's when they're like a lot more hostile and volatile and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but say that again.
Depends on the person, because you can go to some that are fine.
Yeah, Hat just said it does. It just depends on the person, because you can go to one person and they're fine, and go to a next person and they're not so fine.
Yeah, obviously it's not like a fixed schedule or anything.
12 o'clock.
What was that, you know?
Yeah, but 12 o'clock, she'll start drawing curtains, she'll start worrying.
Yeah.
She won't like lash out.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we've been up to this week. And now, I believe, Charlie, you wanted to talk about like the future of the podcast and everything.
Yes.
Which I am down for, because obviously we plan to do this for quite some time. So.
Well, with the whole moving situation, it might be a bit more difficult, but yes, the future of the podcast, this comes down to the audio issues that we've had. Like, obviously I come from a media production background, and speaking of which, my camera is going to die any second, because we're on 29
minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm on 28 minutes something, because I had to start my recording for my audio again, so that's gonna die.
I'll compensate for you when your camera dies.
Oh yeah,
I'll just put on a show for the both of us.
Yeah, sweet. I'm gonna move just closest to the camera. 29:41. You know, it will die in like a couple seconds. I'm gonna go restart it. Sam,
Okay.
Talk about our sponsor for the day. Like, put something in. Do something.
Okay, so
Make 'em laugh.
I'll put in a visual show as well, just for the camera being dead. But yeah, if you made it this far, then hopefully that means you're a fan of the podcast and everything. So we'd really appreciate it if you could like subscribe and give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter and on our personal accounts if you want. But yeah, we just talk about ourselves, pop culture, and we want to answer like audience questions, and hopefully in the future like get some other people on that have like their own stories to tell and stuff. But yeah, hopefully I've filled that space well enough.
Yeah, camera's back on. So
Awesome.
So yeah, future of the podcast, media production background, that's where I'm from. It's what I kind of study at university. It's what I've been studying for the past like 5 years, when I think back to A-levels and stuff. As much as recording on Skype and recording audio and me having my camera and stuff, like, it's good for now. It's not where me and Sam want to be as this podcast progresses. Like,
yeah.
We don't want to be... I think I can speak for both myself and Sam, knowing how Sam reacts to his own work and how I react to my own work. We're perfectionists. Yeah. We are. We like our products to be like as high quality and as professional quality as we can possibly get it to within our own means. Like, we might not be able to afford cinema cameras or to rent an office in London or to buy a place in London to have as our base for our podcast, but we want to get as close to there as possible.
Yeah, of course.
Like, me personally, I'd love to have a set for the podcast. I know me and Sam have spoken about this. Yeah, we'd love to have a set for the podcast. We'd love to have, we'd love to have a hub, a place.
We were talking about this yesterday, really, weren't we? About like having like a little
table,
consistent backdrop, little table, a couple microphones.
It's like, we've looked into it. We're not just thinking this is the end of like where we're going to go with this podcast.
Yeah, no. When we're allowed back outside, this podcast isn't by any means going to stop.
No, of course not.
So if anyone for some reason wants to keep watching, then
I mean,
don't worry about us going anywhere.
If anything, once this whole quarantine lockdown situation is not abolished but a bit more relaxed, that's when the podcast is going to pick up. There's going to be loads to talk about. Me and Sam are actually going to be able to go out and do stuff with our week, like
go outside
and record together. But like, as I've said, we're looking at equipment. I've got my one camera, I've got 2 lenses for it, and neither lens one lens might be suitable for the job, to record both myself and Sam, but it's audio equipment, it's microphones, it's audio software, it's hard drives to put the audio and the visuals onto. It's getting there, but by no means is this the peak of the podcast. It's just the beginning, literally. It's starting from the ground up. And me and Sam have huge ideas for this podcast.
I think we may or may not have mentioned it earlier, but as well as looking better and everything, when we're able to record in person, but it's also going to be like so much easier to like edit and stuff, and all the audio issues are just not really going to be a thing we have to worry about so much.
This is the thing. The hardest problem with these podcasts is editing. It's not recording them. It's not getting ready to record. It's not even finding stuff to talk about. Like, this is just a conversation. It's the editing. Because like I said, with that lag, there's only so much I can push forward the audio without it desyncing from the visuals, or so much that I can cut out from my audio or your audio without it not sounding right, you know what I mean? But like you said, if we're recording in person, there's not going to be that lag. The only thing we have to monitor is the volume of the audio, if it's peaking, if it's not loud enough, pop filters, making sure our P's and our B's and our S's aren't harsh. Like, it would make life so much easier. But
the only lag we really have to worry about in person is like mental lag.
Oh yeah,
where it just stops being able to use their brain.
Like, literally, we just sat next to each other and it's like, oh yeah, Sam, what do you think of this? Or Charlie, what do you think of this? And we just look.
And then you hear like AOL start.
Yeah.
Sounds.
No, it will be like
a little monkey clapping cymbals in our heads.
Nah, bro, the Windows error sounds so dun.
Oh golly. But yeah.
The future's bright. The future is very bright. And with the support of everyone listening and, subscribing, following us, allowing us to keep making this content, it will just help propel this podcast to the place that me and Sam want it to be at.
Well, I'm pretty sure you were like just coming back when I said it, as I was like filling the space when you were gone.
Oh, I had my headphones on. I could hear what you were saying.
Yeah, but we do want to like, answer audience questions
and
feedback, and hopefully even maybe eventually get some like other people on just to talk to and hear what they have to say.
This is the thing. It would make life so much easier for guests.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that me and Sam are very passionate about, having audience interaction, having that relationship with our audiences. Like, we want guests, we want questions, we want comments. Like, all feedback is good feedback to us, even if it's you saying, like, I don't like the format of the podcast. Why don't you like it? What can we improve on? If you're saying you love the podcast, that's great. We know to continue doing what we're doing.
If you think Charlie talks too much, which he does,
if you think Sam doesn't talk enough, which he doesn't, let us know.
Oh, you've just opened the floodgates there, my friend.
Go for it, man.
I will talk your ear off now. But that's like the one silver lining to not being like hugely successful right now. The fact that if an audience member reaches out, we're gonna see it. As opposed to if we have 100,000, million, 10 million subscribers, all of that's just gonna get completely lost in the shuffle. So we really want to hear what anyone watching has to say, or we want to know what you want to ask, or anything else you have to say or do, basically.
It will always help us. Like I said, like, all criticism is good criticism. It just helps us improve and give the audience what they want, what you want to see from us and what you want to hear from us. Like,
absolutely.
It helps. But yeah.
No. Yeah.
that was weird. We both just went, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As well. In terms of the future of the podcast, I have a quick question for you, Sam.
Okay.
Where
is this a question you spoke about yesterday, or is that still coming up?
What did I?
You said there was like a request.
Oh, the request. No. I'll say that after this because it kind of relates to the guests. But if you were to have the unlimited funds, you didn't have to worry about travel or whatever, what would be your ideal podcast location? in terms of how you'd want the office, well, the set to look, where you'd want it to be based, backdrops and stuff like that? Because I'd love to know this.
I'm gonna sound so basic saying this, but probably this might be a little bit of a curveball actually, but probably Los Angeles, just because that's where it's like a celebrity hub, isn't it? So that'll be like super ideal for guests and everything.
Yeah.
So they could literally just like pop in and talk in person. But when it comes to like the actual, recording space, honestly, I don't want anything too elaborate. I think Joe Rogan's a bit too much. How he's got like his super long table and he like sits across from people and he's got screens all over the room. I just quite like the idea of having a table sitting next to the guest, talking to the guest.
Yeah.
That's about it. Less is more kind of thing.
How do you want the table to look? Like, what colour do you want the table? Do you want it wood? Do you want it varnished? How do you want it? Describe it, bro.
I want the table to be a giant upside down teacup. And the microphone's a tea bag. But I think literally just like a little, like straight little table, or maybe a circular table, just so you've got like, what's the word? Like different. We're all facing like different directions, as opposed to facing head on, all three of us or two of us, or however many there are on the podcast at the time.
I get you.
But yeah, I guess I'll throw that question back to you.
See, the only reason I brought this up is just because I watched a podcast the other day. But I think for me, location, probably similar to yours. I don't really mind, like, country-wise. I just think I'd like to be in, like, a social hub. Like, somewhere like London or LA or New York.
So you've got the same kind of reason as me, really.
Yeah.
It's just where people are at.
Honestly, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I'd love to have a podcast location is somewhere like Hawaii, just like have massive bay windows,
just it's like nice,
just looking out at the beach. Like, honestly, it would be amazing. But I think practically speaking, I'd like a social hub place, an urban place.
Can I like amend my answer?
Go for it.
Because I didn't really consider location. I'd still do it in LA.
Yeah.
But if I was going purely on location,
yeah,
I'd probably do like Miami.
Yeah.
Just because it's really nice, like, and the weather's good.
Yeah.
And they speak English, and because my IQ is like 57, I can only speak one language. So, that's my little like location thing. But yeah, back to you.
In terms of set, like, I have two opposite ends of the spectrum. I like the old rustic look, like the brick walls, like in Joe Rogan's like original sort of thing, where it's just the sheer orange brick walls. But I'd also love for it to look like really chic and modern, like a black room. So the lighting would be great, rather than it reflecting off any surfaces. But it's similar to you. I'd like just a nice table, like that's what I want. I want a nice table. I think I'd like prefer kind of a square or rectangular table, so we could have like us sat one side, the guests sat the other side, or me sat one side, you sat the other side. But
I was thinking they'd be like sat in the middle, like between us.
Oh no, that sounds a bit intimidating to me. And camera wise, that's more equipment. Because like what I'm thinking is, I would absolutely love to have a free camera setup where we have, let's say it was just me and you, no guests. It would be you sat like kind of one side of the table, me sat the other.
Oh, and then like
a camera on each of us.
So one on me, one on you, and then one on both of us.
Yeah, a wide, and the wide to be on an automatic slider, just a slide across. Oh, I'd love it. I would love it. But
that could be a headache just watching back. Just moving all the time.
But I'd love it. But yeah, I just want. I'd love somewhere that feels. I don't want to say homely, but homely, a place where, 'cause I want it to have like almost coffee shop feels where you go there and you sit down, you just have a conversation. I don't want it to be like a
Yeah.
boardroom, you know what I mean? Like you go in there and you feel like it's an interview. I'd want
Yeah.
people to come in and just literally feel like so relaxed, like nice chairs for them to just sit down in and be like, 1 minute just talking about something really, really deep and inspirational, like talking about like a story of theirs, and next minute they're just like, oh yeah, so for dinner I'm thinking of getting like a takeaway or something like that. What are you guys thinking? Like,
See, that was my kind of thinking, that like if it's like too elaborate, there's people aren't really going to be able to like relate to us as well.
it's just a
As
bit
opposed
distracting.
to if it's something that feels like a place people go to.
Yeah.
So like a house or a coffee shop or whatever.
I just want it to be nice.
But I think ideal location is like a bathroom. And then we have 3 cameras, one facing each stall, so none of us can see each other.
Oh, mad.
And then we just kind of like talking into the mics, all pooping.
You know what I've just thought? Like, I'm practicing so much looking at my camera, like dead on. But when we're in person, I'm just not going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at you. Like,
Yeah, no, it's going to be weird to like get the balance of looking at the camera, looking at each other.
Yeah. I guess it just depends on what kind of segment we're speaking about. Like introduction, we'd be looking at the camera. Any sort of like, I don't want to say sponsorship, but like addressing the audience, looking at the camera, but just asking opinions, just looking at each other.
I did have an idea for a podcast actually, but I got beaten to it.
Yeah.
But I had an idea of like a mobile podcast, not like phones, but
I was
like,
going to say, what do you mean?
it's in like a van, and then we like kind of like carpool karaoke. So we like take someone somewhere, and we like podcast
Okay.
at the same time. But Steve-O from Jackass,
Yeah.
he's done it. So, and it's like literally like just started up. So
Oh man.
beat us by a hair, which is super annoying. I think Jackass 4 might have been announced not too long ago actually,
really?
which is really cool.
A fun memory I have with Sam is I remember stopping over at his.
I was thinking about this the other day.
I stopped over at Sam's one time, and I woke up and he was just playing the Jackass game on his computer, and we sat there for a good I want to say 45 minutes or even longer, literally just like playing the Jackass game.
Oh, I feel like it was a really long time, like a few hours.
Honestly, it was like, I don't know why we were so invested in it, but it was just, it's like when we were playing Lego Star Wars. But
see, that game was so difficult though, Jackass.
It-
Because I remember there were points where we were literally like screaming at the screen.
there
Just like,
wasn't there one of you like riding.
let me win.
There was one of you like riding a bike on a building site or something like that.
Yeah, it was a unicycle
That
on
was
a
it.
construction on like on a high rise, and you could like fall off the building.
Yeah.
But I feel like talking about Jackass is a good
Segue.
segue to our next segment.
I was literally thinking the same thing.
Getting better at this stuff. Where we're going to talk about like the things we've watched.
Yeah.
Is this going to be in the last week or just like in general? Because we didn't really talk about that.
Well, the stuff that I'm going to speak about, I'm just having to pull up the name of one of them, is going to be stuff that I watched last week, really.
Okay.
But I'll let you go first. Go for it.
Well, I'm not really like a TV watcher. I literally have like maybe like 3 shows that are still airing that I watch, and probably like 4 in total. But I'm looking to like grow that. Like I want to check out Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, that, I've heard really good things about that, so I want to check that out. But yeah, I'll throw it to you because you're the one that watches TV more and stuff. So what have you been watching this week?
I'm actually just
Weekly Teacup Part 2.
I'm trying to turn on. I think it's because my camera is in the way. I was trying to turn on my TV because I'm trying to think of what the program was that I was watching. I'm gonna quickly put it up on my phone, see if I can see it there. But one thing I have watched recently is something that a lot of people have been speaking about, and it's that Tiger King documentary.
Yeah.
So funny story about that. A week before it came out, or a week before it started becoming popular, or because I can't actually remember how long it's been out for. Me and Hat have been watching the Louis Theroux documentaries on Netflix.
They're so
And
good.
it should, because I think she's watched a couple and I've watched a couple, but we've never watched like all of them. So we were like, let's just go through it. And we watched one of his early documentaries was about the Joe Exotic from the Tiger King documentary.
Okay.
So like
That's crazy.
we watched that, and then a week later, it came out.
Jeez.
So when Hat saw that, she was like, we need to watch it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like that would be great.
So you watched it before you knew the Tiger King documentary was a thing?
Yeah, so we
Wow.
watched the episode with Joe Exotic on Louis Theroux, and then literally like a week later, it came out, the Tiger King documentary.
What was the Louis Theroux doc about?
It was about keeping exotic animals as pets. So it looked at my lighting in here has gone very, very off. So when that camera goes off again, I'm gonna adjust the settings. So that I found the name of the thing I was gonna speak about. So it was about people keeping exotic animals as pets. Like it spoke about Joe Exotic. It spoke about people that had tigers as pets. It spoke about this one couple that had 2 chimpanzees as pets. You haven't watched the Tiger King documentary, have you?
I've seen little bits, but not like a full episode or anything.
I
Because
must-
my mum and my sister were watching it, so
I
just
must
kinda,
admit-
like, poked my head through the door.
I'd recommend it. It was interesting. Like there's so many twists and turns in it.
I know like some of the like narrative beats. I guess that's the way to call it. So I
Yeah.
know a few of the things that happen.
Spoiler.
Um,
In case Sam says anything, spoilers.
Oh no, I'm not. That's literally all I was going to say. That I know some of what happens, but not not everything. But it seems like you've given it a good review. So I guess anyone that's watching this, maybe check it out and see what it's all about.
I'd highly recommend it. I mean, it's a style of filmmaking that I absolutely adore. Like, I love factual television. I love documentaries and stuff like that. And it's shot really well. It's directed really well. There's so much archive footage for people that don't know. That's like pre-existing footage that
so
has
before the documentary team
yeah.
got filming.
and they've brought it and licensed it, and honestly I can't praise it enough. Like it's a very good documentary, and it does literally leave you wanting more. Like you want to find out what's happened to some of the main protagonists in it.
See, this is a bit of a tangent, but it's like on the documentary.
Yeah.
But you know the person that got their arm bitten off?
Yes.
They were referred to as female through like the whole thing. But they're actually like a trans man in real life. Well, I guess it's non-fiction, but you know what I mean. Like that's how they identify. So I really don't know like what happened there. Whether Netflix was just like, ignoring what he said about his pronouns or anything. I know it's like a little political, but it's clear someone's messed up.
When I've watched it, there was no pronouns used for that person. The only thing that ever came up was their name and their position at the zoo, because the thing about the documentary, for those who haven't seen it, there is no narration to it. There is just the people that are being interviewed. They are the ones narrating it. So no one ever called that person from the team recording. No one ever called that person by the incorrect pronouns. Maybe some of the people that worked at the zoo referred to them as incorrect pronouns. But the only thing that was ever used for that person was literally their name.
Well, like I said, I haven't watched it. That's just like something I read. So,
but I'm not too sure. Someone might have messed up with that. Like this is just me working off memory. I don't know if any of the captions or any of the interviews with people, or whether any of the directors spoke to that person and referred to them with the wrong pronouns. But
well, I'm hoping it's like I know it's a bit of a meme to say, but I hope it's not like fake news or anything.
Yeah.
And if it is true, I want to give like the benefit of the doubt and just hope there was like a miscommunication or something like that.
Yeah.
But if it was like purposefully done, then that's a bit poopy.
Yeah, I know.
A bit crappy.
There has been a fair few. I don't want to say complaints, but some remarks made by people that have been involved in that documentary. A couple of I'll say the protagonists, but everyone is a protagonist in it. But some of the main protagonists.
Something like lead.
Yeah.
It's weird calling them lead characters, but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
They have come forward and said, that the remarks that I made in this documentary have been skewed and stuff like that. Like, so I know one of the main characters, one of the main people. I think there's talks of them suing Netflix or suing the company, the production company.
Wow.
But yeah, like, I would highly recommend watching it. I loved it. Hat loved it.
Well, I trust Charlie's opinion because he's a much bigger film and TV guy than me.
This is my discipline.
He's spoken about his media experience, so obviously he's got like experience watching and producing, as do I a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, Charlie's opinion's one that I trust. So
gassing me up.
I would say that I'd say that you should check it out because he's recommended it.
So something else that I have. Oh, no.
I was going to ask about that actually. What was that program that you watched?
Well, there's two programs that I watched. One of them I've only watched the first episode of. Do you remember Friv, the online game?
Yes.
I loved Friv, and for some reason I always played this. I played loads of the games on there, but a game that I consistently played, and I think it was because there was actual like progression through the game, was this dentist game. I don't know if you've ever played it, but
the one with the it's like claymation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why have we played the same game? That's weird. But it's like based on an animated TV show, I think.
Yes, I found the TV show. I didn't realise that it was because I think the TV show is based on the game because the TV show came out in 2010.
Wow.
So unless there was a pilot made. Or wait, actually no, it came out in 2009.
Do you know the name of the show? Because I'll fact check that real quick. If you want.
Glenn Martin DDS, and it says that the first episode was 19th of August 2009. But I don't know when the game came out on Friv. Or see, this is the problem.
I'll find it.
This is the problem with Friv.
Because it's 2009, yeah.
Because games get added to and from it. So was it created before or was it created after and just added? I don't know, but
maybe it was made at the same time.
The show is funny.
As the show.
The show is
just to like kind of promote it.
Yeah.
That makes sense as from like an advertising standpoint.
The show is funny. I enjoyed it. It's
I think I may have seen like a little bit of it. It looks super familiar. Like all the characters.
It's funny. It's like it's like Robot Chicken kind of humor. Like.
I like that show. That's good. I watch it on YouTube.
But the one I really wanted to speak to you about is a show that I have found on Amazon Prime. And it's called Freak City.
Okay.
It's a strange one. It's a very dark comedy-esque show. It's all animated. The thing is, the episodes, like, they're around like 20 minutes long, but the actual content of the episode is like 30 seconds. The rest of the time is commentary about the episode and storyboards before it was made and bloopers. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's a pretty weird show. Like, it's like I said, it's pretty dark. There's some dark comedy in it, but the I don't know what to make of it. Like, I don't know whether I like it. I don't know whether like I'm reading one of the reviews here, and someone just very much didn't like it. Awful, dull, unamusing, avoid. This is just not funny on any level. It's just poor rehash of a dozen other shows, which are funnier than this. Sorry attempts at humor. Like, but then there's someone else that loves it.
So that's the thing about comedy. It's like so subjective and divisive that some people find The Big Bang Theory like super funny and Family Guy, and other people it's like the least funny thing they could think of.
Someone has said that this person is a David Firth wannabe, with none of the imagination or execution. Yeah.
Do you know who David Firth is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that made Salad Fingers and all that stuff.
Like,
all like OG YouTube stuff.
That's because apparently originally the Freak City was made for YouTube. He's the guy, because I watched the commentary. He said like, you know, I spent 2 years or something working this out and creating it and stuff like that. I just don't know what to make of it. It's just strange having a show there that's like 15-20 minutes long, but the actual episode is 30 seconds, and the rest of it is built up of bloopers, storyboards, and commentary about the episode. Like,
well, I myself actually, I know I said that I don't watch TV too much, but a couple of the episodes of shows that I said I watched that were still airing came out this week, so I could talk about those.
My camera has died. Feel free to talk while I sort this out.
I'll do some more dancing then.
Okay.
I did a little jig last time. So I guess I'll talk about Modern Family first. That's a show that I've probably watched that since like 2016 maybe. Oh, I just dabbed. Why did I do that? And it's in its final season this season. I'm talking about Modern Family, if you couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I could hear you. I had my headphones on.
Yeah, it's in its final season this season, and by the looks of it, it's literally got like one episode left. But I think it's being broken up into like one mega episode or 2 parts. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see how they do it.
Yeah. So
the second to last episode aired this week. But instead of talking about that, I'll get a little deep. But a reason I like Modern Family is that I've spoken about it in the first and second podcast, I think. But I am a big gay man. And I don't necessarily feel like I'm not represented or anything, because it's 2020, times to be LGBTQ plus is like you know, it's a better than ever time to be on that spectrum. But I think Modern Family is like one of the only pieces of media I can think of that shows like gay dads, which is something that, you know, isn't represented, and it's something that I'm not sure I think about it a lot, but I do wonder for the future, like, how is that gonna work if I do want a kid, because obviously 2 men can't reproduce because I'm sure I don't need to spell it out. But yeah, those bits don't make a baby. But yeah, it's something that I put thought into if I'll like adopt, if I'll get a surrogate. Like I have no idea what I'll do, but to have representation and like people talking about same sex parents, that's like super good to see. It's nice to see people talking and thinking about stuff that I'm thinking about.
I mean, I totally agree with you. I think more shows should do it. You know, it is something that a lot of production companies are looking at and looking into and trying to become more diverse. I think that the biggest thing is it's a lot of small independent production companies that are taking those risks.
Yeah,
But because they're small independent companies, they don't have the funding to get airtime. It's a lot more YouTube based or trying to get to Netflix or whatever. But going back to kids,
Mhm.
you know, yeah,
Oh god, you're pregnant, aren't you?
wow.
Charlie's pregnant.
No.
Oh no.
It's one of those that is well, I want to say it's something to start thinking about now, like, you know what I mean, like, but
Mhm.
it's crazy, like, there's so many people
Well,
that we went to school
it'll
with.
like catch up on me, won't
Yeah,
it?
there's so many people we
So
went to school with that have kids or that are pregnant or that have two kids. Like, it's crazy, and you know, it's something that I know that I want.
mhm.
And you know, the thought of not being able to have a child of my own, if I couldn't because of complications. Like, it's something I've thought about, like, you know, adopting, but it.
So, see, I'm not sure I've spoken to you about this,
Mm,
but I'm like super like happy and comfortable with like who I am.
mm,
And like if I could choose my sexuality, I probably would keep it the way it is,
mm,
just because I'll get on with like guys and stuff a lot better than women.
mm,
And that's not like, you know, on purpose. It just so happens that I have a lot more male friends than female friends.
yeah.
Um, oh gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, but yeah, that's the only like drawback, that I can't um, like make a baby with
Yeah.
the person that I love, which is a bit
Well,
sucky, but
I get
there,
it.
there are ways around it, and
Yeah.
it's just those ways really that I have to think about.
I mean, it is something that, you know, can. It's a challenge at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Like, you know, there are people out there that can't have kids. That they just can't. I mean, like I said, I'd love to have a child of my own,
Mhm.
and I'd love for it to be, like, you know, a natural thing. But if it couldn't, I think I'm getting all deep now. I think it is. It's one of those things. I'd love to be a dad. I've always wanted to be a dad.
See,
Like, I say always.
in the scenario where you couldn't, well, yeah, so that'd be the same vote as me, really. If
Mm.
you're with someone and they had some kind of circumstance where they couldn't
Mm.
make a baby, then, you know, even some heterosexual couples like need to think about what they can do in the event that they can't reproduce. So I just feel like that's something that should be talked about a lot more.
Yeah.
The people that can't make babies and how they get them.
This is the thing. Like, it's a normal thing. It
Mhm.
is now. Like, you know. I mean, I hope they don't mind me saying, but there's a couple members in my family that
Mm.
want to have kids, but they don't want the heart condition to come with it.
Yeah,
So they're looking at alternatives.
that's super thoughtful.
Yeah, because like, as much as they'd want a child as natural as possible, that they want the child to have the best life as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
And the heart condition, like, you know, it does hold you back, and that's why I'm like incredibly grateful and lucky that I haven't got it, and I don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, I'd love to be a father. I'd love to be a dad,
Mhm.
and nothing's going to stop me getting that. The only thing that is going to stop me is if, like, you know, my partner said, like, you know, I'm not ready. I'm never going to force someone to have a
Yeah, of
child,
course.
but like, you know, I will do anything to become a dad, and if that means like adopting the child and giving them a better life,
Mhm.
I'd happily do it. You know what I mean? And I think it is something that needs to be looked at. I mean, my whole media coursework in AT was about the whole story of orphans and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, you know, it is something that I think needs to be spoken about a lot more, because I know men feel like they're not men, if they can't have kids, and women feel like they're letting their partner down if they can't have kids. And that's just not the case. It's a natural thing. If you can't have kids, you can't have kids, but there's ways around it. Just because you can't make a child the traditional way doesn't mean that you can't have kids. Like there's so many alternatives out there, and there's so many people out there that can help you. Like you can speak anonymously to
Anonymously, yeah.
That's the one, to someone in the healthcare sector. You can speak to family, friends, look online. Like there's a ton of answers out there, and I do think it should be normalized. And that was a really deep convo.
What I really respect about it as well, this is like the last thing I'll say, is that I respect with Modern Family how they didn't like make a big deal about it. Because if they were to say like, oh, we're same sex and we're having a baby, what a story, what a character development. I'd respect that less than if they just, which is what they do, if they just treat it like it was normal and then it happened, they adopted, they have a kid, cool, great.
This is the thing.
Equality.
It is normal. Like it's as much as the phrase does get tossed around everywhere. It's 2020. Like it's normal. Like the thing that I've always thought about is if two people of the same sex can give a child a better life than a couple that are opposite sexes, who would you rather have raising the kid? You know what I mean? Like just because it's the stereotypical nuclear family doesn't mean it's the best fit for that child. Like I mean, Hat has a friend that is in a same-sex relationship that has 2 kids, and they are happy as anything. They are the loveliest kids ever. Like it isn't about who raises the child, it's about how they raise the child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the last I'll say on Modern Family. We didn't really talk about Modern Family, we more spoke about
one thing about Modern Family
kids.
is I loved Modern Family, but I have not kept up to date with it at all. I do.
I watched the episodes illegally. I covered my mouth for that, so that means I can't get arrested.
No.
I like watching them online, like before they air here. And yeah, like every episode, as soon as it's out, I'm watching it basically. But the other show that I watch, unless you wanted to say something else.
I was just going to say, like, I need to catch up on it. I really do, because I loved watching it, and then I don't know why I fell off watching it. I think I just got a bit too busy, and I just haven't watched it. And I do think it's something that Hat might like, so I think I might just persuade her, just like, oh yeah, come sit down, come watch this. It wouldn't surprise me if she's already watched it, knowing her.
Yeah, no.
But,
the other thing I've watched anyway is The Undateables, which most English people know about, but if you're not English,
I don't know what it is.
Know about it.
I'm not English. What is it?
It's a show. I'm really gonna try sum it up the best I can.
Yeah.
It's a show where people that have like neurological disabilities or physical disabilities or disfigurements, like try dating, and they kind of like see what the experience is like, and they talk about their difficulties dating and throughout life and stuff. And you like really get behind these people to like try get their happily ever after basically.
I've just pulled up the description to see what it actually says about it.
And I did it better.
You did, to be fair. You did.
Great. But yeah, that's a super nice show to watch, because it's, for the most part, full of happy people, but obviously you get the times where people don't click, or like it's not a mutual feeling, which sucks. But yeah, no, it's a super nice show. I do get worried though.
Yeah.
I know that like how I watch it, but I'm just scared that other people watch it with a different lens, where they kind of see it more like a freak show or like something to like point and laugh at, and that's not something
cool.
I can vibe with.
I've actually, I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of The Undateables. I think I've only ever watched clips. Because I know you and Lauren showed me some clips of it before, some of the people on it.
It was kind of like on in the background then, wasn't it?
Yeah. but I've never actually watched a full episode of it. But
Mhm.
I really like the idea of it. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I completely agree with you. Where I think there's some people that watch it for the uplifting side of it, and there are
Mhm.
some people that watch it for a laugh. Like, don't get me wrong. I remember there was that one guy, the one guy that you and Lauren showed me, who said that he was a rock star, and
Oh
like
yeah, another one.
I thought he was amazing. I,
Yeah,
j-
he's super successful now.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's got albums and stuff.
like I think he's amazing, but I wouldn't turn on an episode of it just to watch and laugh at him. I'd turn on an episode to see what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's something that's really good about it as well. Even if it's like not on purpose, people might have like I don't know what the word is, like judgments about people.
Mm.
But then it really like you get to know these people, you get to know how much like everybody else they really are.
Yeah.
No matter like their circumstance. So that's something really good about it. Like it humanises humans, which is awesome.
So, like, obviously, there's the undateables,
Mm.
and on the other side, there's first dates. And I know
Yeah.
that's become pretty successful. Would you ever? I know it's a bit different for you now because you have your man friend. But would you ever consider going on a show like that, like first
It's
dates?
funny you say that actually, because a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago actually, I was thinking about applying for it.
Oh, okay.
Just because if I'm single, I might as well
Yeah.
do something with it. But clearly that's, I am still somewhat single, but we're building to something.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah, clearly that's not a thing I can do now, which I'm completely fine with. Um,
I prefer first dates, and like I said, I know I can't really speak on it because I haven't watched it, but I prefer the whole idea of like first dates and the undateables so much more than Love Island.
I've never seen Love Island.
I've
Tried to
watched
keep away from it, if I'm honest.
I've watched 2 episodes of it, both because the people I was there with were watching it. And don't get me wrong, some of the stuff they do on it is funny, and some of the stuff they come out with is funny, but you just know they're not on there to find love. Like,
I just always kind of thought it was like Big Brother, but with no clothes, basically.
I mean, yeah.
That's what it always seemed like whenever I saw anything from it. But I will speak on the Undateables a little bit more. Not the Undateables specifically.
Yeah.
But I know you know this. But I have spoken to someone on the autism spectrum. So like I've kind of had like first-hand experience somewhat.
Yeah.
Talking to somebody with like a different circumstance of my own. So yeah, I've got my whole thing about that. All I'll really say about it, I know you probably wouldn't have asked, but as far as I'll go when it comes to like dating somebody, if I can fall in love with their mind,
Yeah.
then I don't really see what's stopping me. Basically,
I couldn't agree more.
like, yeah. I don't want to sound harsh, but like if I can't know, if I can't know who someone is, then how can I fall in love with them really?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's just like, I think the thing is like, you gotta love yourself to be able to love someone else. I've always used the analogy of, if you love yourself at 30% and someone comes in and shows you 35%, you're gonna fall madly in love with them.
Yeah,
But you should not settle for someone that isn't showing you 100% love.
See, the good thing now is that I have an ego.
Yeah.
So I know when people love me.
You can't. Like, someone needs to be loving you 110%.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't settle for someone giving you the bare minimum. But at the same time, I completely agree where you have to know someone. Like, you fall in love with someone over their little quirks, the little things they do, the little things they say, and you fall in love with them. You don't fall in love with the idea of them. You fall in love with them, and you know, the way I act with Hat is completely different to how I act with anyone else, because I can be like, myself with her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I can be completely open and honest with everything, and that's what you need. But I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, you want to be able to love someone for who they are, but if they're not willing to show you who they are, how you meant to love them?
Well, it's not even willing; it's more like unable.
Yeah.
I was meaning.
Yeah.
But one little last thing is that, like I said, I spoke to someone on the spectrum, so him and like my whole kind of like dating history is probably something that I'll go into in more detail in a different podcast.
Yeah.
That's about it, really. Because there is. I've only had the one relationship.
Yeah.
And it lasted about a year.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to tell, I feel like, so
Yeah.
that'll make for some good discussion.
I think that, like, time doesn't matter. Like, you can go through so much with someone in 3 months than what you did in 3 years with someone else. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I won't speak too much on my relationship, just because, like I said, I might talk about it in more detail, so
Same.
I might as well save it all for that. But the last thing, because that was quite a long discussion, longer than I thought, because we got a bit deep into it.
Yeah.
Is you said that we had an audience request.
Yes, yes.
So I am scared about this.
So, one of my friends, she listened to, I'm hoping she'll be listening to this one as well. But she listened to the second episode.
Okay.
And obviously that was when we spoke about your little man friend. And she said that she wants a couples podcast if all goes well. She wants me, you, your spouse, and my spouse.
Okay.
She wants a 4-person podcast. She wants us all in there.
That might happen. That's all I can say.
I mean,
that might happen.
I'm just saying, like, I've mentioned it in every podcast now. Hat will eventually be a guest, and I would love for blank to be a guest. You know what I mean? Like, because it would, there is so much stuff that I know that Hat can say about me that I wouldn't want to say about myself, because she'll bring up all the embarrassing stuff. I know it's the same. Yeah, exactly. And I know it'll be the same with blank with you, like.
Just laughing at blank.
Yeah. No, you know what it is? It's because in my head, I knew that I was gonna bring this topic up, and I was kind of thinking about the best way to explain it, and I just kept saying their name, and I was like, I just can't. I can't do that.
Just say your partner, I guess, if you really want to.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll build into that.
Yeah, I was just like, just drop it in there.
I can like talk to him about it, see what he's saying.
Yeah.
But hopefully, that will become a reality.
I'm just saying, like, once all this lockdown blows over, double date, my guy. Ghetto go.
I don't know what I think about double dates.
You know what? I think the thing is, there's so much pressure on them to be a date. But like when we went to Ghetto Golf on New Year's, me, you, and Hat went around because there was 7 of us, wasn't there?
Yeah, that was a 7th wheel.
Yeah,
I'm single.
There was 7 of us, but I not at one point thought it was awkward you being there with me and Hat. Like,
speak for yourself.
But,
no, you and Harriet was fine. It's more like when I was the 7th wheel.
Yeah.
But it was a bit weird.
But like, I think if you go out and you're intending it to be a date, it's a bit like, oh. But like, me and Hat go over to a couple of her friends quite a bit, and we sit there, we talk, we drink, we have a laugh. And, people could call that a double date if they really wanted to. Us 4 went out for a meal a little while ago. People could call that a double date. But I do not consider it that. I just always thought of it as just like going and hanging out with some people, and that's what I reckon it would be with us four. It'd be like, oh yeah, Sam, do you and blank fancy going out for a game of bowling? Oh yeah, sure.
See, I literally always imagined like a double date being in a nice restaurant and then just kind of like being next to the other couple.
Yeah, nah.
So it's like literally a double date.
Who needs a restaurant, man? Just spoons.
Yes.
No, forget spoons. Just
Yeah, no, they're being a bit crappy right now.
come over to ours, or we'll go to yours, and we'll just make burgers.
I'll clarify what I just said. The spoons aren't being crappy because they closed. I think there was some like wage stuff because of the whole lockdown and people not being able to make it to work. So that's why they're crappy. Morally crappy, not because they closed.
A person that I know works for Spoons, and I don't know too much detail about the whole wage thing, but I know that they weren't happy and they were like atting them on Twitter and stuff like that.
Oh,
I know that Hat had a bit of I'm just gonna have a little drink first.
Okay.
Hat had a bit of a problem because she was planning on taking me away from my birthday for. Actually, I've just thought that my birthday's on a Thursday this year, so we're gonna be recording the podcast the day after my birthday.
Probably planning it the day before.
Yeah.
AKA your birthday.
But yeah, so Hat was planning to take me away for my birthday, and like all of it got cancelled because like we can't travel and stuff, and the places that we were meant to be going to are closed. I don't know what we're doing. The only thing I know is where we're going to because she accidentally told me when she was a bit drunk when we were in Glasgow.
Love that.
But like the one thing that was refusing to give her a refund on was the hotel. So like,
yeah, you've told me about
yeah, the Megabus, because we were going by the coach, they were like, we can't give you a refund, but we'll give you like credit, and it can be used for 12 months afterwards. So she was fine with that, but the hotel was literally saying, we can't give you a refund, we'll give you credit, but if you book a date and it costs less, we're not giving you any money that you're in credit with. If it costs more, you have to pay the extra, and it can only be used up until December 31st, 2020. So
it wasn't the Marriott, was it, by any chance?
No, it wasn't. It was.
Because I know they've been a bit poop as well.
It was an Ibis hotel, I'm pretty sure. But me and Hat sat and we wrote an email, and I was just like, yeah, what happens if the lockdown situation isn't resolved till after December 31st, 2020? Does that mean that our offer's like invalid? And then they said, oh, we're sorry, we'll take this higher, and then Hat got a refund for it. So yeah, it's just one of them.
Well, I know with the Marriott there was like a wrestling like event that was going to be hosted there in America. And they literally said like you can't cancel because that's going to affect our finances, even though it's obviously in the middle of people not being able to go near each other.
It's a hard one. I was speaking to one of my friends about this, about the renting situation and about deferring rent. The problem with deferring rent is they're still going to want that rent. Like, if me and Hat referred 3 months of our rent, that's 3 months worth of rent that we need to pay back. If we don't have the money in the 3 months that we're deferring it, how are we going to have the money when it's due back? But the problem is landlords can't say, oh yeah, live there for free, because they still have to pay bills. Like I know in Italy, they like shut down all of the bills, like mortgage wise, renting wise, phone contracts, all that shut it all down. They were like,
oh, that'd be blessed if they did that.
Exactly. Like landlords couldn't say anything, people renting couldn't say anything, businesses couldn't say anything. Like, people could live while not being able to actually like go out and live. But it's
well, this has been another super long one.
I've enjoyed it. I always get concerned that we're not going to have enough to talk about.
Time.
Yeah.
Literally, I thought it was going to be like 40 minutes long at
Same.
the start.
I honestly thought it'd be about 45 minutes.
We've doubled that.
Yeah.
And then some.
It's just easy to talk to you, my guy.
Yeah, no, same. It's very mutual. But like I said, when Charlie's camera did the first time, if you've made it this far, hopefully that means that you're a fan of the podcast, or at least this episode. And if that's the case, then we would really appreciate you subscribing. We were looking at analytics yesterday. Actually,
I was going to say.
We're businessmen.
Yeah.
And it said that 70% of the people that have watched the show aren't subscribed.
We see you. We see you.
So if you enjoy the show, we'd love you if you can subscribe, and that means that you can see more episodes as well. All of our social media links are in the description and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you could follow us, that'd be really appreciated. If you have any questions for the show, you can put that in the comments. You can tweet us if you really want to. But we get that not everyone wants that on their feeds, so you're more than welcome to DM us or anything like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I think that's all of the plugs done.
Quick note for one of the plugs. SoundCloud. So, we have a free membership on SoundCloud. That means that we can only upload 3 hours worth of audio onto SoundCloud. We wouldn't be able to upload this episode onto SoundCloud, so unfortunately this episode won't be going out onto SoundCloud. It will be just on YouTube. We haven't had any audience feedback in terms of whether you are or not listening on SoundCloud. We don't have any followers on there. If there is an audience member that is listening to us on SoundCloud, please just drop us a message, a DM, tweet, anything, just to let us know.
They can't hear this, can they?
Well, no, but I mean, like, if they come to YouTube to get the link.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we don't post our SoundCloud link anywhere other than our YouTube description. And like I said, no one's following us, so there won't be a SoundCloud link in the description of this one. I don't think. Well, there won't be a new episode on our SoundCloud when this goes out. If it is something people want, let us know, and we could look into getting the pro membership, and we'll be willing to post onto there. It's just, if people prefer to listen on YouTube, we'll keep it on YouTube. We're still looking into branching into iTunes and Spotify. But yeah, we're like, my camera's just died again. But yeah, it's all about evolving, people. Just help us evolve. And Sam, talk for a bit while I just put my camera back on.
Yeah, no. I wanted to say something anyway. If you do follow us on Twitter, Charlie and I were talking yesterday that I'm gonna try to get good at twittering. So I'm gonna tweet out all the episodes as and when they come out. And if we get feedback and things, hopefully I can reply to some tweets and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make the Twitter a lot more active. Right now we're mainly active on Instagram, so that's the big one. And obviously DMs are open on that for anybody.
Yeah.
But we are gonna open the DMs on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try and make the Twitter a lot more active than it is right now.
Speaking of which, bear with. Don't mind me, guys. I am just posting to, the Instagram. Just a little.
Oh, okay.
Just a quick one for the story. Yeah.
You may or may not have to send me this.
Of course.
But yeah. 1 hour 32 minutes. That's how long I've been recording for. So the episode's probably an hour and a half.
Yeah.
31 minutes.
Mine's just got to an hour and 30. I'm gonna just say the boys before posting the picture, just because I want to look at the camera.
We don't hold them up anymore.
Yeah. But thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for tuning in again, guys. It means a lot. Keep supporting. And yeah, Sam, roll the outro.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, like we said, please subscribe. That'd be super appreciated. Like it, share it, follow us on everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, we appreciate you watching, and we will speak to you another.
Yeah, we'll speak to you another. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.